Hello and welcome to this week's video lecture for Access Assignment number 4, I believe. Before we do that, I want to do some housekeeping and make sure that you guys are watching the videos and paying attention and knowing where things are. I'm getting a sense that you're not reading the book and you're not watching the videos and you're just trying to click your way through the assignments and not really learning anything, which is not good because once you get out of here, you tell somebody that you've had this class and you had access and they ask you to do something and you may not be able to do it because you didn't read everything or watch everything and you just kind of tried to get through the class as quickly as possible. And that's not our goal here. So the first thing I want to do is make sure you know where the Access Database textbook is. And so if you scroll down in Blackboard and come over here and click on Textbooks, you will see that I have access to your textbook. And if you click here, it'll open it up electronically. Now you may get a prompt that a block-up window is being prevented here from opening, and so you'll come over here to options. I'm in Firefox. It may work a little differently in Chrome, so I'm going to click on allow the pop-ups under Blackboard. When that happens, it should open up the book in a web browser. Now after I clicked on that, I got a blank window. I had to go back to Blackboard and click on it again to get this window that you see on the screen. You may also get a prompt for the website using cookies. Just click accept and close. And then you need to find out what chapter you're reading. So if you go to the table of contents, you'll scroll down and you can see Access Chapter 4, Creating and Using Professional Forms. That's the chapter we're working on this week. Click on that, you can click on the learning outcomes and just start reading and go from there. Alright, so please do that before you start on your project. Then once you're ready to begin your project, you go back to the class. You will click on the weekly units, scroll down to week 9. You'll click on that. You don't see that yet because I haven't made it available and I'm in student view mode. And then you would download the assignments just like we have been doing. Now the other thing that I wanted to touch on that I'm also wondering if you actually have done it or not and seen how to do it is that when you're in the weekly assignments, you notice I put a Pearson MyLab Mastering in there. If you click on that, you will get to the My IT Lab content. If you click on that, you should bring up what your grades are, what you've done in the class in the My IT Lab. So you can see my scores here on different assignments. Notice here under the week, the Access 3 guided assignment, I only made a 98. To see how you're doing, you click on, I've heard this referred to as the snowman, the 3 little dots, and go to view submissions. Once you see that, you would then click on the submission you want to look at. I just clicked, and it'll open up a screen and it tells you how you did on each of the steps. And if you miss something, let me scroll down here. If you miss something, you'll see the points and in red, and then you see this little drop down arrow here, and if you click that, that'll expand it out and it'll tell you exactly how many points you got or how many you didn't and how much it was worth. So for me, it says under this item number 9, I didn't set the caption field to discount amount, and since that's in quotes, it means I don't supply the quotes, But it looks like it didn't want the period, and I put the period in there, so that's why I counted off the points. And so you can go into great detail and see exactly what you missed, and it tells you why, and then you can go back and fix that. You can even, if we scroll over here, come down here and download the submitted file so you know where to start in case you lost the file you were working on or you did something else and you don't know where you got to. So you can download this file, start working on it from where these mistakes are. Okay, so make sure that you read the chapter in Access, and then as you're working through these submissions, you always have 3. Go back and check and see what you did and try and get all the points. All right, so I'm going to go back to Blackboard. I'll go to the weekly units, and I'll get into teacher mode here. And you'll see that week 9 is available. I'll click on that, and I'll download the guided assignment. And just like before, what you'll want to do is click here, download the instructions, download the starting Access database. Your name will appear here instead of student. Once you've done that, then you can open up the directions and you can open up the Access database. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I've opened up the Access database, and you can see all the objects that are here. I can click here and do all objects if it's not selected. We've got our tables, we've got a query that's been built for us, and we've got a form that's been built for us. I always like to go to Database Tools, click on Relationships, and see what I'm working with. So I've got speakers, session speaker, and sessions. And that looks like it's arranged that way, one-to-many relationships, one-to-many this way. So a speaker can have many sessions, and we have an intermediate table that links the two. So this is a many-to-many relationship. I know this because of the 2 primary keys here that are linking to each of the outside tables. All right. So let's go ahead and get started and see what our directions are. So in our project, I'm going to just right-click here and hit Close. I'll save that. It says your boss has asked you to prepare a schedule for each speaker for the national conference being hosted next year on your campus. She wants to mail the schedules to the speakers so that they can provide feedback on the schedule prior to its publication. You assure that it can be accomplished with Access. So item number 1, open Access, save the database. So you didn't see me do this beforehand, but it'll come up and say, do you want to open this, and you want to go ahead and save it so that you know where it is on your local hard drive. So you enable content there. So step 2, select the speakers table. Okay. As the record source for a form, use the form tool to create a new form with a stacked layout. So we're going to go to Design View. It really doesn't matter, but I just want to see what's in there. We're going to create a form that's going to be used to fill this table. This is the data structure. And if we go to Datasheet View, that's got data in it and it's showing you what it looks like. So we want to create a form tool. So we're going to go to Create, and then we see Form. Okay, so we're going to use the Form tool. So we're going to click here. And you'll notice that this form is called Speakers. And the reason why that works is because we've selected this table to build the form. Notice that forms are probably more what you're used to when you interact with a system. That is, whatever you're inputting into the system is in a vertical form. And so, but really, you know, when it's laid out into the table's got each of these as column names, and it's horizontal. But this is typically what people would interact with in a database, some kind of form where you're putting in information or retrieving the information. And we want stacked layout. To make sure you're in stacked layout, you might want to go to Arrange, and then you can see stacked here. Okay. Now, if that doesn't work, then we may need to go back and go to Form Design, which is a wizard that steps you through everything. But that's not what it's asked for, so that's not what I did. All right, step 3, it says change the title in the form header to Enter Edit Speakers. So the title is right here, so we're going to double click on that. And I clicked off of that, but notice I still have that insertion point. And I'm going to say Enter / Edit space Speakers. Notice that what they want you to enter is in blue. The period doesn't appear blue, so I'm not going to put the period in there. It says reduce the width of the text box controls to approximately half its original size. Well, here's our text box. So half of it would barely be about right here. So what I'm going to do is I come over here to the side. Notice it's in yellow, and I'm going to click on it. Click and hold and drag it to the left. So when I clicked on it, it expanded it out all the way. So now I've got to try and click on it and get it so I can move it up. All right, so I've clicked it back. And now, there we go. I got the double arrows. And I want to drag it so it's about halfway. Notice the size of the text box is this size now, and it's not all the way out here. Step 4 says delete the session subform control form from the form. View the form and data in form view. Sort the records by last name in ascending order. Save the form as edit speakers. Close the form. All right, so if we scroll down, you'll notice there is a subform underneath. That subform only gets generated because in our database tools, the relationship was already there. Okay, it was already linked up. So when we go back to this, you can see it's got session ID and my sys row ID. So this is the subform. So every time the main records change, the links to the subforms will appear. So if you look at the bottom here, we've got these data scrolls. We've got 10 records in our main form up here, and that's currently linked to 2 records in this subform. So as I traverse, you can see how that changes. Okay, so what they want you to do in step 4 is we don't want this on the screen. So because it automatically created it for us, I highlight it, then I'm going to right click on it. Doesn't allow me to do anything, so I'm going to click here and do a right click, and I should be able to delete it. So I'm going to hit the delete key, and it goes away. So you don't see it anymore. View the form and data in form view. So let me close these other ones down. So we just have this. So I'm going to right click here and go to Form View. All right, now you could click the Home tab and get Form View there too. So it's your preference. I like to just do it here so I'm not moving all the way back up to there. So I'm in Form View. It says sort the records by last name. So I need to click on last name. And here's my sorting filter. And we want to do ascending order. Notice that when I did that, it automatically changed this here. So that's the first record under last name in ascending order. We want to now save this form. So I can hit the Save button here. File, Save. And instead of being speakers, like it originally was, we want to name this Edit Speakers. Okay. I'm going to hit OK. And we're going to close. And I'm going to stop right there. And when we come back, we will start with step number 5.